Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today, it's going to be a match between Reynor and uThermal here on Winter's Gate, the latter edition from WCS Fall. Top left-hand corner is the red Zerg player Reynor, and in the bottom right-hand corner, it is the blue Terran player uThermal. Alright, so should be excellent stuff here today. uThermal can cheese, he can do mech, he can do bio, he can do anything. And he wants in a TVZ, battle cruisers, ravens, hellbats. And I expect him to give Reynor a lot of trouble. So we'll have to see how this turns out. Once again, thank you for joining me on a StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void cast. Hit that like button if you enjoy these. Just helps the algorithm. Recommend me to more people, and more people you can talk to in the comments and debate things and hate each other because you're different races and all that fun stuff. All that fun stuff from YouTube comments. Whew. Okay, my YouTube comments are not actually as bad as most YouTube channels because I'm not large enough to engender those kinds of things, but maybe one day my channel will be big enough that everybody hates each other in the comments and just fights all day. That would be good, but I don't know. StarCraft is not as contentious as other subjects YouTube channels are, right? Right? Political channels, movie review channels, channels about guns and gun control versus gun rights. It's fantastic. Ooh! Ooh, ooh, ooh! Do we have a double Reaper opening here? I've had this ready for a long time. And uThermal opening up double Reaper, it looks like. Very interesting. Okay, come on. Oh my gosh. Is it going to be... Yes! Oh! We're going to call this double Reaper, even though it's going to be a 3-Rax Reaper, but it's going to be the Calypso twins. Tyreen and Troy are two space YouTubers on the planet Pandora, who are clearly a marketing team who have only the biggest idea of what millennials actually enjoy and what they think millennials enjoy. Okay, the Calypso twins. What do we got here coming out for us? I mean, clearly there are more Reapers on the way. Ah, crap. This is awesome. This Overlord Scout's not going to see a single thing. The first Reaper's going to show up, and Reynor's like, yada, yada, yada. Going to make 4 lings, going to get a queen out, going to throw it on a 3rd base, etc., etc. But this is a 1-base 3-Rax Reaper opening, and I kind of like it. I kind of really enjoy this, you guys. What are we doing? How's this going to work out for uThermal? Can he take down Reynor with this very cheesy play? Remember what I said? Remember when I said he can cheese? Okay, now is when you start making lings. You see 2 Reapers and say, all right, hold your horses. What is happening right now? He starts the 3rd queen, which isn't too strange, honestly. Is he? Actually, there we go. 6 lings on the way. Okay. So those are lings you don't need if it's just a single Reaper opening, but these are lings you need if there are more than 1 Reaper. And now there's 3, with 3 more on the way and 2 coming across the map. This is starting to get a little bit scary, but queens, the ultimate answer to everything early that a person can do against you as a Zerg player. Queens can handle a lot of stuff. Especially good against Reapers here. KD8 charge goes down. Do they want to kill that queen? They want to kill that first queen. First queen goes down. Second queen might go down here too. Some actual good focus fire here. No, the lings come in to save the day. And the Reapers are forced to pull back. They try to get into the main base, but the Reaper positioning here is fantastic. Out of Reynor. That's KD8 charge it down and get out of there. Maybe heal up a little bit, but the longer this goes, the closer it is until speed is done. And speed really makes this hard for the Reapers to do much at all. More queens in production. 3rd base is not mining, because why would you mine down there? That's suicide with the number of Reapers on the field. Meanwhile, expanding behind it is uThermal. He's also working on +1 attack. This really feels like just Reapers until I win or lose at the moment, which I am a huge fan of. I haven't seen this in so long. Thank you, uThermal, for bringing this to the channel today. I love a Mass Reaper play versus Zerg. I mean, for a while there, back in Wings of Liberty, they were super overpowered, and there was literally nothing Zerg could do to stop them. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the whole Swarm Host Nidus shenanigans going on right now in ZVP. Dude, that KD... Oh my gosh, KD8 charges, just lifting, 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 lifting. The slow zone's causing problems here, but the ling count is insanely good. Ah, the Reapers, are they all dead? How many can survive here? More KD8 charges pinned into a corner, and only 1 Reaper survives. Oh no, Reynor. Reynor loses all of his Reapers. The good news is he's making more, I guess. Oh gosh, that was a horrible, horrible rally. Lings are like, you know what, if all you have are Reapers, I think we can probably get through this wall. So let's do it. Oh, crikey. I was going so well for uThermal until speed showed up and there were a million Zerglings, and that was all she wrote. Which is generally how these things go. So the Queen defense is pretty good. Dude, uThermal is just going a bajillion Rax Reaper here. The memes are dreams, and the dreams are alive, everybody. Look at this. Look at the Rax Reapers he's going with +1 attack. Who did this? Somebody did this on a Gauntlet StarCraft. I don't think that I cast, but that I heard about from a while ago here. What is Reynor going to do to handle this? Queens and Lings? Maybe get some Banelings. Those could be pretty good. Roaches trade really, really well. Ravagers especially do exceptionally well against these Reapers. He's getting +1 Grand Carapace. That does help against Reaper shots. Anything that attacks quickly and does small amounts of damage, but attacks quickly nevertheless, is going to be negated a lot by the armor upgrade. So he's going to try to come on in with an army supply of 13 to 28. Doesn't seem great. Really doesn't. Kind of slips through the middle here and comes on to creep. Going on to creep is just suicide. You don't want to engage on creep. You have to kill these tumors to even get close enough to do anything. Oh, uThermal. All right, man. His +1 attack is done. So, I mean, these guys hit a little bit harder than they did previously. A Ling counterattack, trying to pick off individual Reapers that are trying to join their buddies. I like this. Keep the numbers low. At least force some of them back, possibly. Yeah, man. This is just Reapers for days, ladies and gentlemen. He's even getting a 3rd command center right now. What a madman uThermal is today. I love this. I'm having so much fun. This is so much more fun than the regular old standard ZVT opening where it's just, you know, a Reaper into Hellions, yada, yada, yada. But I guess at this point of the game, it does get different from time to time, whether it's Macro or Bio, or is there a Banshee or Liberators, and there's quite a bit of variety in ZVT, I would say, ZVP 2. All right, so here we go. Those Lings do not want to get backed into a corner and murdered. I asked them, I took a survey, and I was like, hey guys, would you like to get backed into a corner and murdered today? And all of them said no. So here we go. I mean, there are no Banelings. Baneling Nest is here. Almost here, but Banelings aren't coming in yet. That's going to be a major game changer here. Does he have more scans available? He's just using all of his energy for mules, I have to assume. So hopping on up into the main base. Everybody coming on in, killing the tumors in the main, which, sure, that's where you want to use your scan. I'm down with it. And, oh gosh, look how fast Queens die to this. Look how fast Queens die to this. This is great. The transfuses aren't even enough to keep up with it. Okay, they're enough to keep up with it for now. But how much energy do you have left is the question. Is he standing in? Is that not enough Zerglings to do this? Oh gosh, the Banelings are coming in for the surround. They're coming in. Get out of there, uThermal. No! No! I wanted that to work so much. But he backed himself into a corner. He was doing great. Until he backed himself into a corner the Banelings could corner him in. There was nowhere to go. Oh, that's rough. All right, so that's game 1 of our sneaky two for between these two players, by the way. So don't go anywhere, because game 1, it does go to Reynor in a pretty admirable hold of the mass Reaper play. I mean, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Rax Reaper on 3 bases, because uThermal is a madman. But Reynor kept his cool, man. Did he lose any drones today at all? No drones killed. That's huge. That's huge for Reynor, losing no drones. He did lose a couple queens. Only 2 queens going down. That one early and then that one late. The transfuse is helping immensely. Honestly, once the queens showed up, I think he should have just hopped down and gone somewhere else. Could he beat him over here? I don't know. It's difficult what uThermal tried to pull off there, but Reynor's defense was pretty fantastic, and he had the Banelings just ready to go just at the nick of time. And, well, bam, I think he had this fight won except for the Banelings, which, I mean, that's how a lot of fights go, I think. Baneling explosions are one of my favorite things in StarCraft. Look at this. Look at this Reaper falling. A couple of them getting launched off the edge of this cliff after they've been exploded to death by acid. I mean, you guys know that I love explosions from Banelings because they're often the thumbnails of my videos, so... Amazing. Just, that's so cool. Is that the thumbnail? I don't know if it works. Anyway, we'll check it out. We'll get there. So game 2 coming up. Don't go anywhere. All right, game 2 is going to be on Ephemeron, and Colt has left the game. Colt Terran. I've cast with him before as part of WSG 2018. Good dude. All right, so top left we have Reynor, and in the bottom right we have uThermal. What do we do when Colt Terran leaves the game, says Reynor. uThermal says play. Reynor agrees. All right, so moving on. If he was solo casting, then I feel like they would restart the game, but I don't know. Maybe he was dual casting here, which I don't think we can see. Anyway, so after that game 1, maybe Reynor wants to drone scout, but I don't know. He didn't lose to it, so once again, Overlord scouting it is. 16 hatch, 18 gas, 17 pool. Very, very safe. And uThermal. What's it going to be, guy? You can't do mass reapers again, I can tell you that much. Reynor has a pretty darn good handle on that. Anywho, thanks for hanging out with me today. Really appreciate all the support I get. I read every single comment anybody makes on any of my videos, by the way. So if you haven't seen that, I reply to stuff that I find interesting. Or even if it's just kind of a boring support message or a boring criticism message, I'll sometimes respond to those as well. So come say hi. I am likely to say hi to you back, and everything will be super fun. You can tell your friends you said hi to Falcon Paladin. They'll say, who's that? And there'll be a fair question. All right, we have a Marine on the way for uThermal. We're not going to bother with a Reaper opening because, honestly, Reynor's going to make 4-lings anyway, so what the heck? Why does it even matter? Honestly, if I ever play Terran, I don't bother with a Reaper against Zerg, because what are you going to do, honestly? You get a drone? No. You gonna get a ling? Maybe. One ling? Is one ling worth all of the hassle? No, it's definitely not. Look, Reynor's making 4-lings by default, because he doesn't know if there's a Reaper coming or not. I honestly feel like more Terrans should just do this, the way the meta's going. Is just make the an extra Marine's going to do more for you in denying Overlord scouting and stuff than a Reaper will on the other side of the map anyway. Sure, the Reaper is really good at defending against a 12 pool, and that is a reason you want to make a Reaper, maybe. But at this stage, I mean, which can you have here? The Lings are moving out. They're like, where's the Reaper, guys? Is there proxies I need to find? No, man. It's just regular old uThermal doing the stuff and going for Hellions. You don't have to worry about anything here. There's third base coming up at 2.5 minutes, as is tradition. Somebody actually went through and made a comment, Goatface Killa did, which is a Homestar Runner reference, which, man, so long ago. Goatface Killa is on the loose. I believe it was a Halloween episode, too. I'm thinking about it. Maybe not. Maybe it wasn't. Anyway, Homestar Runner, love that stuff. But what was I going to say? Yeah, he made a comment on one of my videos. Basically, it was a Falcon Paladin translator. There's stuff that I say and what it actually means. And apparently when I say as is tradition, it means Falcon has seen this a million times and is bored of it. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's a fair translation, Goatface Killa. I think all I could put out his name was Goatface, but he used the Goatface Killer image from the video, the Flash video. Man, I'm old. Suddenly really old. All right, here we go. Hellions cruising on in. 2 queens ready to shut that stuff down instantly, and they don't do a good job of it. The Hellions just run right by. Queens thought they had that blocked off, I feel like. Anyway, Ling's trying to do stuff, but they are slow Lings. Oh, they get a Hellion regardless. Anything saturating the third base? Of course not. Reynor's not dumb. Now, Ephemeron has these, bridges up at a potential 4th base that Reynor could want to take here. Remember how this Overlord was trying to scout? I remember how I was trying to scout, and all I got to see there was the fact that there was a barracks coming up, and it already was a barracks. So maybe that was enough to know this is going to be some bio play. Hellion trying to get some stuff done, but now speed is done. The number of Lings is pretty nice. But what I like to say, what I was going to say here is tanks like to set up here with some Marine support, maybe some Marauder support, and you just kind of dance on in and attack that 4th base and dance back to the tanks. And it's really hard to surround them because obviously this is a very narrow area. And Special loves to do it. I would be shocked if uThermal doesn't try it at some point in this game. We'll see. He's making the Marines to the point that I don't think this is going to be any kind of a mech styling. So the Bile plus tank, again, loves these bridges. And I have seen really good Zerg players taken down by really good Terran players by using the strategy on this map. Almost to the point that I would say this is maybe a Terran-favored map. Not that Terran wins every time, but just one that is more friendly to Terran than it is to Zerg. And we'll see. We'll see if that comes into play here or not. Again, uThermal, I still think if he doesn't go further in, if he doesn't go further into the main base of Reynor in that game number 1, he might have actually won it. Hard to say. It's really hard to say. There was a Spire coming up, and then the Mutas would just wreck the Reapers, and many tiers would be had. uThermal doing anything different? Nah, man, going for combat shield. Going for a 3rd command center at 5 minutes, because you can do that sort of thing on these maps. They're all very macro heavy. Hellion's trying to see, is there a 4th base coming up for my Zerg opponent? The answer is no. Maybe. Oh, actually, can they block this? Dude, no. Go back. Go back. You could block it. Oh, uThermal, you were right there. You had this in the palm of your hand. You could have shut down that 3rd base for all of, or 4th base, for all of maybe 10 seconds, or possibly 15. depending on how the reaction time from Reynor was. Well, it's all good. He doesn't even have an armory, does he? Doesn't even have an armory. Okay, so these can't be Hellbats. This is very much just going to be Marine stuff. The Lings check to see, is that the 3rd command center? It definitely is, so my 4th base should be fine. Just have to deal with some kind of a drop or possibly Hellion attacks. The answer to this is always going to be Lings and Banelings, regardless of what it is. The Banelings are ready to go, though. I'm just going to point that out. And he doesn't have any attack upgrades or armor upgrades yet, nor is he working on them. So Reynor does not subscribe to the belief you need some kind of an upgrade to deal with this style of thing. He is totally fine with Banelings. And I tend to agree with him. He should be fine. Tumor's going down here. That does frustrate Reynor, I'm sure. And here come the Lings trying to go for the wraparound, trying to get the Banelings to explode. Oh gosh, the Hellions are in so much trouble. And a few Marines go down too, so yeah, extending onto creep to kill tumors is a dangerous proposition in general, but especially when Reynor is sitting right there staring at you do it. If you can do it somewhere else that Reynor is not, maybe you're going to have a better time. 1-1 coming in for the Lings and the Banelings and the Ultralisks. So we could see Ultras coming into this game. It's a feasible possibility. uThermal is throwing down a 3rd base. This is maybe a little bit bigger for an army than I'd expect for standard Serral style defensive stuff. I'm looking at it. He doesn't need all of this right now. He's making 22 more Lings. Oh, this definitely feels like an attack. We're looking at this, and I am feeling attack here from Reynor. Army supply gonna flood up here in favor, 50 to 52. This is way more than preparation, I gotta say. uThermal's army isn't massive by any stretch. I don't think he needed this much to handle it. He is expanding though and getting an infestation pit, so maybe he's just over preparing on defense. I mean, he handled that first attack really well, so he could afford to do it. He's also going to do a Ling run by here into the 3rd base of uThermal and do a lot of damage. And by that I mean kill 0 SCVs, because the Marines were on top of things and uThermal shut it down. Any tanks here, guy? No? Alright. Well, the positioning was good for a second there, and then suddenly 18 Banelings showed up and it was less good. So uThermal just kind of getting swallowed up here in this game. Sure, he hasn't lost any SCV. Sure, he's on 3 bases. But Reynor's 5th base is about 50% complete, if not 60. Reynor is going for a Spire, which could be interesting. We've seen the Mutalisk stuff. I was going to say here, but no. We saw more Mutalisk play. Blah! Over on africatv.com/laughingames, where I do cast live StarCraft 2, super high level as well, with players like Solar and Cure and Parting. And who else was there? Donray Goo was there on Sunday. So check it out, man. africatv.com/laughingames. Follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/Falcon Paladin. I'll put up announcements of when the next one is. It's usually every 2 weeks. But anyway, Donray Goo went just mass Mutalisk Ling Baneling in one of his matchups. I think it was against Cure, and did a pretty good job with it. So maybe Mutas aren't much of a curse as I thought they were. This is so many Lings and Banelings, though. This is just uThermal not able to get any purchase at all whatsoever. And I mean, really, what you got to be doing if you're going to do this is multi-prong harass. You need to be dropping at the 4th base while pushing at the front, while liberating at the 3rd, if you're going to have a hope of taking down Reynor in this style of game, in this macro style, because he's so good at it. He's not Serral, but he plays the same style. Going for the Greater Spire here at 9 minutes. He's effectively maxed out on 85 workers and 5 bases. And he's been handling everything that uThermal has thrown at him so far. Ooh, the Queens could actually kill that Marine, but instead they turn back and spare his life, recognizing that he is not a worthy foe, perhaps worth killing. Because, yeah, Queens totally go for that stuff. Drilling Claws on the way. Widow Mines do help against this strategy for sure. What you're going to want is probably some Thors. Although, I figured maybe we see some Mutalisks or Corruptors, but no, man. He's going right smack dab for Broodlords. Not worrying about Mutalisks or Corruptors at this stage at all. Well, eventually he will want some Corruptors. Lings? Whoa! Huge Baneling bust! Coming on in. Good SCV pull. Getting out of there. The Marines trying to fight against this, and the Banelings kind of exploding on a tank, which is bad news for the Banelings. Attacking on in. Stutter stepping, stutter stepping, stutter stepping. Widow Mine shot! Widow Mine shot! Widow Mine! Okay, that wasn't as good. Nice target firing here. All right. I'm on board with what uThermal is doing. Sure, his 3rd base is in trouble, but he didn't lose many SCVs for doing it. He still has a 66 worker count. He's a little bit scared to come over here. Army supply is still favoring the Terran, which is nice, and he's got a 4th base. Okay, so uThermal has made some really nice trades here so far in this game. Can he get the win is the question. It is a tall order, for behold, it is Reynor, somebody who qualified for the final 8 of BlizzCon this year. I'm casting this before the results, so I don't know who wins, but I assume Reynor does well. He's already done well to finish top 8 in the world. Like, seriously? Top 8, Reynor? You're 17, man. It's ridiculous. Alright, well, Lings are like, hey, your third base was cool. Oh, your third base is gone. Blah! Big time Widowmine hit. Doesn't do enough against 100 Lings that exist here, which is problematic. There are no Banelings, thankfully, for uThermal, but, these Lings are scary. I'm going to toss that out there. They have 2/2. Broodlords in production. Does uThermal have the answer to Broodlords? Too often, ZVTs do turn into this. Do you have an answer for Broodlords, uThermal? Do you have Ghosts? Do you have, I don't know, maybe Thors on some extent? Do you have Vikings, maybe? Ghosts are going to be great. Widowmine, going to fire. Ugh. Oh my gosh, look at it pull these Lings back so the attack wasn't as big. But holding the wall is nice. God, those Banelings could probably get through. Engagement's still trying to happen up here, but the Broodlords show up and that's it. He didn't have an answer to Broodlords. Man, this is happening far too often. Terran players, look. I know it's hard. I'm not going to say you suck or anything, but boy, getting caught by tech choices is rough. You have free scouting machines right here, right here. I know you want everything for mules. I get that. I've heard the arguments that all you want is to be using that energy for mules, and every scan you throw down is like losing just 500 minerals down the toilet. I get it. I do, but you can't be caught by surprise by this kind of stuff. Where actually is the Greater Spire? Is it just right in the main? It definitely isn't. Oh, it's over here. And yeah, didn't scout it. Never scanned the main either. So yeah, Reynor could have tossed it up in the main base. And uThermal never ever would have known. But, oh, rough stuff there, uThermal, my guy. All right, so that's a 2-0 victory for Reynor today. Oh, hold on, what am I doing? That, and that. Perfect. Perfect. I mean, at the end of the day, uThermal didn't lose a lot. Look at this. 6,000 resources lost to 10,000 of Reynors. He killed 200 Zerglings and 24 Banes. Got a Queen out of the trouble. Only 50 Marines had died. 1 tank. An SCV. He just didn't have the answer. He didn't have the ability to pop out a bunch of tanks instantly, and he tapped out. This may have been premature. Like, look. There's 5 Broodlords. Sure. Not game ending, in my opinion. Right here. Start making some of those Vikings. There are no infestors out. I'm going to check, are there infestors out? There are no infestors out. You don't have to worry about getting fungal or parasitic bombed by Vipers, because there are none of those either. Yeah, I don't know. It feels premature. Broodlords are slow, man. It takes them a while to get up here and shut down this base. All right, uThermal, maybe premature, but at the end, Reynor did enough to win, and I guess that's what we're talking about. That's all that really matters. All right, well, that's going to be it for me today. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Go ahead, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.